Everybody say bye, Dave. He's going to lunch. And hello, everybody. Good day to you, and welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are here. I know. I'm super glad to be here. We're marching out to a 1992 Isuzu pickup truck. I believe it's got the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. I think that's a yeah, old square body Isuzu. Look at this thing. Have not seen one of these in functioning operating condition in quite a while. It's in really good shape, except for that missing lug nut right down there. No matter. Customer states that the vehicle cranks and does not start. It's kind of a spare vehicle, but they want to get this thing back in operating condition. So let's climb on in and see if we can't get this thing to start today. I've heard it run. It does actually function, but intermittently we get a crank no start. Let's see what she's going to do for us today. Beginning engine starting right now. Give some gas. It's probably not carbureted. Yep, well, at 64,172 miles on the odometer, we have a no start condition on our Isuzu. All right, so suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That's what we need in order to make this thing run. Now, I'm pretty sure we've got compression. It sounded like that, so we've got the squeeze. If we have the squeeze, then that means we have the suck. And since we have the suck and the squeeze, we need the bang and the blow. And I'm pretty sure since it's sucking and squeezing, it's gonna blow, but it's not gonna bang. So we need to figure out how to make this Isuzu bang for us. Now, in order to get this Isuzu to bang for us, we need air and we need fuel. And I'm pretty sure since it sounds like it's sucking and squeezing, we've got air. So let's go ahead and introduce some fuel. I've got a can of brake clean here. That should be combustible, there we go, combustible enough to at least get this engine to light off temporarily to see if she's gonna run. So let's spray a little bit of the, what do they call it in Canada? Cosby sauce? Let's spray some Cosby sauce on into the intake here and see if this thing's gonna fire up. I'm thinking, I need like a port or something to get the brake clean in. Yeah, that one. There we go, we'll spray it in right there. Take the little straw in the can here and feed it into the tube. Give it a couple shots. Plug you back in. Let's see what she does. You gonna start or are you not gonna start, Isuzu? Haha! It fired over. Give us some gas! And that's all she wrote. All right, well, using my deductive reasoning powers, I have concluded at this point that this engine is lacking a fuel supply. So we have no fuel. So we've either got no fuel in it, which that's a possibility because the gauge is 0, or the pump is junk, or there's something else I'm not seeing, like, I don't know, electrical supply to the pump. So either the pump's not getting powered, pump's not getting ground, the pump is junk, or it has no fuel in it. So we need to get this thing into the shop on the rack and we'll begin to inspect for all of these potential faulty fuel sources. So stay tuned because this is going to be a very good Isuzu video. Okay, so we need to push this thing into the building here. Let's get our parking brake off, get rid of you. We're going to click her into neutral right here and time to start pushing. Lauren doesn't know we're coming. Let's sneak up on her, see what she's doing. She's busy. Shh. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours from us.
I need you in a minute.
All right. Well, great. If anything changes, just let me know. All right. See you then. Bye.
My turn?
Hi.
Is it my turn?
Sure.
Can I borrow you?
Sure.
Will you come drive this Isuzu? Come on.
Isuzu.
I need you to drive something for me.
Okay. Really? You want me to drive it?
Yeah, you drive. I mean, you can push if you want. Do you want to push?
No, I'd rather drive.
All right. Okay. It's the red one. Little red truck over yonder.
Oh, that's cute.
Didn't it? Okay, you steer, I will push, and then we're going.
See what we're doing.
Yeah, it's prepared for you. Yeah, drive it in under my Chevrolet sign, second middle stall over there where the Cobra was parked.
Got it.
Okay, you guys hang out back here with me and help me push, and she's gonna steer. Oh, this thing's heavy. Come on, guys. Heave. Yeah, I know. Are you touching the brakes?
No, I'm not touching anything.
What? Hey, you're gonna have to get out and push. I can't do it by myself. Dave's not here. We gotta get over these rocks.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here, man. Here, close the door and just push from the little window pillar thing. There you go.
All right.
You got it? Oh, you're doing it. Oh, yeah. We're going now. Oh, man. We need Dave, man.
Oh, man.
I can't do it. Well, we almost made it, but the problem is this part of the parking lot is the high part, and now we're pushing uphill. And Lauren's wearing flip-flops, so that's not gonna work, so we're just gonna tow it with a minivan. Come on back, babe. Straight back. Come on back, come on back, come on back, come on back, come on back. Whoa, not go. Here, hook that on. Here, go forward some. Slow, stop. Remember, you're attached to another car. So when that rope gets tight,
now?
yes, you are now.
Okay.
So when that rope gets tight, it's gonna pull. So go slow. You'll feel it. You feel it get tight. Keep going. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. You're rolling. You just turn left like you're gonna go into your parking space. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Just pull right into your parking space. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Ho, right there, stop. Okay, back up a little bit. Now we can push it. All right, come on out, darling. I think we can push from here. What? Are you laughing because you're nervous? You never did that before?
No.
Is that fun?
It was fun. Can I go in here?
Oh, we can do way more rednecker stuff than this.
Am I driving?
Yeah, you're driving, darling. Here, I'll push you. Steer us in, please. Okay, got it. Woo! That was far.
It's kind of hot.
Yeah, I'm done. Let's go home. Yeah, it's hot. It's 90 degrees in here. Woo! I need the fan. Not 22 anymore. Here. Woo, that was fun. Break time over. So we got the rack set up. Let's get this unit up in the air some here and take a look at the fuel tank, fuel lines. We'll listen for the pump, see if it's coming on, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll bang out with a hammer, get it running again. Moving on up, moving on up. I think that's about good for my altitude here on the locks. Whew. Let's see what's going on down under this unit here. What is this, water or fuel? Smells like transmission fluid. That's something leaking that's in the bed of the truck. That's not our problem there. Okay. Hey, that ain't right. Or maybe it is. It could be the high flow muffler exhaust system right there. Got a little bit of rust. Took that out in a quickness. It's been replaced once before. Okay, let's see. Suspension looks good. Such a simple automotive design. Look at this thing. I wish they built stuff like this now. We can't have things built with this level of simplicity. It's quite disturbing, except for this front end. That's a little complicated, but we got a leaker. That's the self-lubricating chassis modification right there. It also serves to recycle engine oil. Yeah, as it leaks out, it covers the bottom of the chassis and prevents corrosion. Pretty good stuff. Let's see, nothing good there. Oh, I see a dirt dauber nest. This thing's been parked for a while, I assume. Torsion bar, front suspension, big old catalytic converter. Look at this thing. Giant pancake converter. Oh, there's our fuel tank. Hey, look, it's got a drain in the tank. How about that? Let's pull that open and see if there's any fuel in it. That'd be a good place to start. That's what we were talking about, right? What do we got there? 16 millimeter? Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is gonna crack open for us here. Unclick. Oh, or not. Yeah, we'll get a longer wrench for increased leverages. That'll do it. Okay, I see fuel coming out, so it does have fuel in it. Ooh, that smells wicked bad. It has very old fuel in it. That may not be the issue here, but at least we know the tank's not dry, so there's enough in there to at least give us some fuel pressure. Yeah, it smells like turpentine. Yeah, we'll just put that back where it goes. Fuel tank click. Oh yeah, this thing smells like an old lawnmower. Turpentine-ish. Well, let's determine if the pump is coming on or not. Let's see if I can't find the wires here. Here's our fill neck, fuel filter. Looks like that right there is probably the connector for the fuel pump. This one, that's for the float. I think that's the float level sender. And then this one here should be the pump, right? Let's take a look inside. Yeah, let me let this down. I want to see if I can't see above the frame rail to get a better visual on where that wire goes. Back up slightly. Back off the locks slightly more. Come back down. Not all the way down, just partially the way down here. Okay. So now we can see what I think we're trying to see. Can't really tell. There's not much slack in any of this stuff here. Yeah, I got a laser for us for visual aids. So there's our wire. That's the wire running back. Goes into that top of the tank. Output fuel line, return fuel line, vapor fuel line. So our fuel pump is inside right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is disconnect this fuel pump connector here. And I'm gonna probe these two pins with the meter. And then Lauren is gonna hop in and crank the engine. You're gonna need a smaller blade. Yeah, a different type of connector. Lauren's gonna crank this and we're gonna check for power right here at that connector. If we have power at this connector and no fuel pump operation, then we know the pump's faulty. If we don't have power here, then we have electrical supply issue. We'll have to go diagnose that. Alrighty, so I've got the multiple meter set up right here. We've got a probe in both power and ground. Lauren is inside of the cabin. Say hello.
Hi.
She's gonna hit the key. Go ahead and crank it for us. There's our power right there. Key off, key on. Yep, we've got battery voltage coming to the fuel pump. So let's plug her back in and give it a listen if we can hear. Please, darling, key it on one more time. Yep, no, don't crank it, just, yeah, we're good. I didn't hear the pump coming on. Stay right there real quick. We have one more fuel pump test to conduct, okay? This is an old school test, and since we've got an old school car here, this will be sufficient. See if that motor has a bad spot in it, and it does not want to, doesn't want to turn. If we were to agitate it slightly, it may rotate, and then it could possibly start pumping again. Go ahead and crank it. Keep going. Nah, it's dead. She's dead. Okay. You can hop on out, dear.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, based on our testing protocol, I have concluded that the fuel pump motor is faulty and will need to be replaced. Ms. Lauren, will you hop in and or hop into the office or go over there and order a fuel pump for this Isuzu, please?
Yes.
Thank you, dear. All right, boys, fuel pump's on the way here. Let's get this lead out of here. It is now my necklace. Let's get this back up in the air. And I'm not gonna pull the bed off this, by the way. It's got this, it's got a bed liner in it, and I don't want to take the bed liner in it to get to the tops of the bolts to take the nuts off. So we're not gonna pull the bed off. This would be a prime candidate to remove the bed to get the fuel pump. It's probably way easier because this bed weighs like 30 pounds. But it's just that's not gonna work out very well. So we're not gonna do that. We're just going to pull the tank old school style and dig that module out of there. On the locks, there we go. Let us begin by removing the filler hoses. Some of this dirt out of here. All built up. See, everything's a hammer. Even some pliers. Pliers are hammers, and hammers are hammers, and bones are hammers, and I'm a hammer. There we go. That one, we'll have to get a pick in there to separate the surface adhesion. We've got a radiator hose pick right here, and also works on fuel lines and evap lines and things of that nature. We're gonna run this pick around the diameter here of this hose, and that is going to break that bond between the two surfaces, and it should let me slide this thing out of here. Or I can just unbolt it. It might be easier. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna unscrew it. That'll work. Yeah, 3 screws. The hard way is not working. I forgot how easy sometimes these older cars are to work on. See, they engineered that to be serviceable. Back in the day, this would have been like a 7-piece, or in modern day rather, this would have been like a 7-piece configuration where you couldn't, you can't get to those bolts and you can't take that off, and you gotta fight with it, and that's really easy. Yeah, we'll just take the screws out of her. Unclick. Ooh, that's in there. It's tight. Come on. I'm gonna strip the screws. Perhaps I need a different screwdriver, bigger head. There we go. Yeah, this one has the proper leverage on the fastener that we're looking for. In there. Well, that dirt is not very nice to these threads, I can tell you that. There's a corrosion and things. So I've ended up making like 4 or 5 trips back to the toolbox to just grab different tools to accomplish this with. It reminds me, once upon a time, this is like 10 years ago, I think, before I was working at the dealership, I interviewed, I think at a Kaufman Tire, which is now Mavis Tire, and the interview went really well, except for the district manager that I had interviewed with over the phone, because I was moving across the planet at the time. I think I was in Hawaii, and I was moving back to Florida, so I was preemptively seeking employment before I got back. And so I was phone interviewing with the regional directors and district managers or whatever, and I had this interview set up at the store. It was one of the local stores here, and the guy didn't show, which I get that, you know, because he's a head honcho and has stuff to do. But so anyway, I digress. The interview went really well, and they were going to hire me, and we negotiated pay, and all that was working out really well. And then they told me, or they asked me, what size toolbox do you have? And at the time, I only had you know, my big blue one, the 72-inch Matco box. And I told the guy, you know, I got a lot of stuff. I got a cart and like a 72-inch roll cab. And they said, okay, you know, we can try to find a space for it, you know, because it's kind of a big box. And I said, what do you mean find a space for it? There's all kinds of space in the shop. And the guy tells me, he goes, yeah, but we don't have toolboxes in the shop because it kind of clutters the workspace. And I said, okay, well, what do we do with our tools? And he said that they put their tools, all the technicians' toolboxes out back in the tire storage warehouse room area. And I'm like, so what happens if I need to bring tools out? And he goes, well, you take your cart and you just roll your cart back to the storage room out back, and then you put the tools on it that you need, and then you take those out to the car. And I was like, well, how do we know what we need? Because every one of these jobs is kind of different. Plus, these are not new cars, so we don't know exactly the tooling required. That sounds like it's very inefficient, and it sounds like you're wasting a lot of time going back and forth trying to get a hold of tools. And they said, yeah, well, that's policy, because we don't want to have, you know, technicians' tools everywhere, plus people's boxes don't match, and it's not the right color. Needless to say, based on that, and the fact that they said that all the employees there had to be clean shaven, like daily, they said that was another mandate dress policy code. Based on those two things, I elected to not take that job. You know, it might have worked out, it might not have. It was really close to my house. But at the same time, what I was thinking was, if, number one, we're not in a doctor's office, and we're certainly not in the Marine Corps, or the Army, or the Air Force, the Navy, or the Coast Guard, or the Space Force for that matter. So I didn't feel it was appropriate for a tire store to dictate the type of facial hair that we had, because my thought was, if you're already invading my personal hygiene this early on in the process, what's it going to be like to actually work here? And therefore, based on those things, I did not take the job, which was very unfortunate, because I liked the district manager and the regional director that I had interviewed with, but at the end of the day, that was probably going to be a losing proposition. Anyway, let's get back on track. Gotta get this fuel tank down. It appears to me that this tank is secured off of this cross member between the frame rails, off this bracket, and the tank has this perimeter skirt around it or whatever that's bolted on with these series of bolts. So I think once we pull these bolts out, the tank will drop down and we'll be able to remove it. I think that's what we're looking at here. Might have to pull this heat shield away. This parking brake cable right here, that has to go away. So let's get a 10 mil, and it looks like 12 mil, and we'll start to lower this thing down. Okay, parking brake cable, your first obstacle. It is a bracketed cable. That's not gonna come out very easily. It looks like it would, but it's not. How do we get you to come apart? Oh, let's take the brackets off. There. Okay, now this one, I can't get the brackets off. There's a fuel tank in the way. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Here, I moved the lift arm over some, so now I can get to this one. Maybe I can get this bracket off and get enough slack in this cable to kind of maneuver it some. But that one's still, that's going to be the issue here, that one. I really would like to get this out of the way. I guess I can live with it as it is. Put this cable over here. Yeah, we'll have to work around it, I suppose. Okay, let's remove these 3 bolts and nuts here that are hanging onto the flange on the tank. So I've got a wrench that I'm going to reach around the top of the tank here to get to the bolt side, and then we'll pull these nuts off with the little ratchet business or the wrench business over here. This is gonna be fun to reach. Oh, those aren't bolts, those are studs. This job just got a lot easier. Very cool. So there's bolts on the back side and studs maybe here on the front side. I'm not sure. We'll find out when I get it all apart. But that's 3 fasteners removed, and the tank is sitting on top of this bracket so it can't fall down, but the rear bracket, that is configured. Oh, I dropped my Milwaukee. The rear bracket is slightly configured, or differently configured. There we go. That one does have bolts on it. I think what I have to do is drop it down, then slide it back on the front, maybe lift it up off of those studs, and then we can lower the thing down. I think that's the protocol here. I snuck the transmission jack under here when you guys weren't looking, so we are now free to unbolt this. This unit is supported. This is the hanging side. Get these guys out of here. Bolt in my pocket. Shirt pockets are great for such things. Now that bolt, that one is a 13. Somebody has been here before. Okay, switching out to the 13 millimeter. And this tank is loosey-goosey. Got it. Okay, let's let this trans jack down, and we'll guide this tank down with it. Let's take a look over here. The bolts have come through, so I think we let her down some. Good, it's empty. It's not a full tank. That's very good. So this is going to get very interesting. So we've got to slide the tank that way to get it off of the lip on that bracket right there. But I can't come that way with it because this bracket is running into it. So I need to take this thing down at a very steep angle. I think to lean it back and then slip the top of the tank past this bracket here, and then we can come down through this hole right here by the axle. That's going to be a very, very tight squeeze because I'll have to maneuver this bit of hosing out with it through that hole. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I am probably going to need to ratchet strap this to the transmission jack so it can't slide off and then fall on the floor. Okay, we're strapped on for safety. Let's start letting this thing down a little bit, and we'll see how much space we end up with to work with here. Get it leaned back, letting it down. Keep that hose in. I should have pulled the bed off of this truck. Seriously, I don't think this is gonna come out like this. It does not appear to comply. Ooh, that was not cool. On the back side, I'm thinking maybe if I just kind of give it a tug while I let the jack down, I can squeeze it past this bracket here. Let's see what it does. Just kind of force it, I suppose. There we go. We're clearing. Cool. Yeah. Got the bracket cleared. Okay. Line's loose. She was leaking some. Still smells like turpentine, but I believe the whole unit is now disconnected. That was interesting, kind of fun coming down. So now we can get into the tank and see what's going on with this pump in here. I'm pretty sure the pump's dead. I'm like 90,000% sure. Level that out so it doesn't slide off. I probably shouldn't have done that, actually. It might be easier to have this thing at that angle to put it back in, because the angle is already pre-measured. We know where it goes. I need to take the ratchet strap off because it's over top of the tank module. Loosen this guy a little bit. Yep, still need to take it off more. Loosey-goosey. Whoa! Don't go anywhere, tank. That scared me. Okay. I think we're good. Tell you what, well, let's get this out from under the car here. It's a little hot, stinky in this area. Let's roll it on out. Okay, I'm gonna take some pressurized nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and various other inert gases, and I'm gonna get all the dirt off of here. Loud noises. Goodbye, dirt. Now, what's cool about this is there's no silly locking tab ring thing on this guy. It screws on with these screws. That one's kind of rounded off. These are all rounded off. This might be fun to get into. It's all in the grip. And that's why I got the little ribbed for, well, they're just ribbed for more grip. There we go. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, I almost cracked an inappropriate joke. I retracted. It didn't feel right with the ribs. Different sensation. Yeah, that's pretty stripped. Now I see why there's replacement screws in this. I gotta wonder why the tank failed though, or the pump failed. If it's been replaced once, maybe there's a bunch of water in the fuel. Oh, that one's in there. Okay. That one came free. I think we'll be good as long as none of these break off. That one's good. Try to dig some of the rust out, get a better grip on it. Unclick now. There. Okay, one more, and this one's the most boogered up. I don't know if this one's gonna come out with just a screwdriver. Yeah, got it. Woohoo! We're there. Okay, fuel pump. What are you looking like in here? Looks nasty. Oh yeah, oh man, look at that. Ooh. I don't know what was in this tank, but it's not okay. Some toxicness. What is this business? Look at that. I don't even know what that is. It like melted itself or something. Yeah, I'm at a loss on this one. It's the blob. The fuel pump tank blob. All right, so these pumps come as just the pump, and I think the strainer comes with it. So we have to unzip tie this pump, disconnect it, unbolt it, probably re-butt connector it. That's weird. Solder looks good on it. Okay, all right, let's get this pump out of the sending unit module here. 7mm wrench. Let's get these nuts off the pump. Somebody's having a party out in the parking lot. I hear the musica. Oh, that was a 7, this one's an 8. That's cool. More tools, back to the toolbox. It's a good thing I didn't have to walk out to the storage room to get a 8mm wrench. Just saying. You know, I'm just saying a lot of things. I talk a lot. And some folks take what I say extremely seriously and personally. And I don't think that that's okay, because there's an occasion where I'm kind of joking or being sarcastic, and people think that I'm speaking the gospel in a negative way on certain topics, and they get really defensive on things, and I think we should be more open for discussion.
Loud noises! Anything about this country! You should have known! What have you done, Derek? Nothing! You've done nothing! I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
On opposing viewpoints instead of opposing them with an aggressive counter viewpoint. You know, that might help society out if we just learn to be open-minded and tolerant of people with different opinions. You know, like California and Florida, for example. We have 2 states with vastly different points of view and opinions on several matters, and yet we seem to love to hate each other because California is not Florida and Florida is not California. They're similar but different, and we need to embrace those differences, because if Florida was California, it would suck, and if California was Florida, that would also suck more. So I don't really think that we really should be at each other's throats just because we're in a different time zone. It doesn't seem productive. I don't know why I'm beating around the bush with this. It's all junk. I need to just tear it out. There, goodbye. Oh. Yeah, this thing melted good. I wonder how hot it was to do this. Let's bend that down. There's no other way except to give it a bend. There, here she goes. That's what we need. So I'll just break this hose loose here. And then that pump is out. I'm gonna have to drain the fuel out of this and put new fuel in it. I'm not particularly thrilled with the current flavor of gasoline that's inside of this unit. Yeah, I've never seen one do this before. Look at that. That's some seriously molten rubber plastic stuff. It's almost like a gel, like a semi-viscous plastic gel kind of business. Yeah, all this has to go. I don't want to touch it. I'm like afraid to touch it. Yeah, gloves. Gloves for the win. Now I can get over the whatever this is. It feels like that Nickelodeon GAC.
What is GAC?
GAC is great stuff. Uzi.
You guys remember that stuff? Or do you have kids that had the GAC? It was like that goo that they had on the TV network, and then you could buy the goo in the toy stores. They called it GAC. This is kind of like that, but like a more toxic version. Actually, knowing what we know now about corporations, this is probably less toxic than the GAC that they sold us in the toy store. Also just saying, see that right there? That's one of those opposing viewpoints or comments that will really set certain kind of people off. Well, I used to work for Nickelodeon, and I can assure you it was environmentally friendly, all vegan goo, and not toxic petroleum-based goo. See, that was just an example. That was a satire, so to speak. I was giving an example, so you can't get mad at me. Or accuse me of spreading false information, claiming that Nickelodeon GAC was toxic and is going to give everyone cancer. It may be, but I just don't have the research to back that up. So I said it in a way to be more comical rather than factual, because I kind of just say what's in my head sometimes. I have no filter. Okay, so we I had some wires in my mouth. So we've got a fuel pump right here. It's a little smaller in diameter than the other one, but it does meet specifications to fit into this vehicle. I've also got a new pickup strainer to go with it, because that other one was not good. It's in terrible shape. So let's get this thing assembled, and then we'll put it in the module. Stay here, fuel pump. This is the little retainer that holds the strainer on. You see that little clip in there? We'll dig that guy out. If I drop it, it'll never be found again. So it's gonna press over this little plastic stud here. And I dropped it. Oh, I saw it. I should probably use a socket to push this down. That might be a little easier. Nah, I got it. You gotta push those little fingers down over that little stud. Since that stud is plastic, those fingers will kind of dig into it on their way down, and it'll never, ever come off again. This little guy fits on very tightly. Very tightly. Like so. Now, plug the hose into the line right here. Twist it some. That's got to sit pretty flush against the bottom of this module, and I think we're in the right spot right here. See that? See how we're kind of fitting in? And I'll take this guy and bend it back. That's going to secure the pump inside the module. And now you just tighten down the screws, and then we have to create or wire up the connector, so a new wiring harness has to be made. So first, we'll get this hose clamp so we don't forget it. That would be horrible to have a high pressure fuel leak inside of the tank. You know how hard those are to diagnose? When you know you have a pump, and you know it's good, and you know it's running, which you've got no fuel because it's all leaking out right here and then there's no pressure. And that would be bad. Okay. Good to go. So now our connector plugs into the top of the pump. And then what we need to do is just kind of cut and splice these wires. I'll probably make the splice right around here. Cut that one off, and then this one, make the splice right here. I just dropped a wire. Now to make the connection, I have some marine grade adhesive lined crimp connectors, and that's what I'm going to use. If you want to see solder, I'm not soldering these, and there will be no regarding the connectors because these connectors are improved over the ones that they actually gave me with the pump. The pump manufacturer gave us non-adhesive lined crimp barrel connectors, and I'm not going to use those. So I'm improving what they had designed for us, and if these were good enough for the situation, then I'm completely confident that the marine grade ones will also be more than sufficient for this application. I give it a crimp. I didn't use the non-insulated crimp ones. I like to do that because normally I don't care if I break the insulation on these connectors. That one was horrible and didn't fit because I crimped it in the wrong spot. Good job, Ray. But anyway, normally I don't care if I break the insulation because I like to heat shrink these, but since this is going to be submerged in fuel, we're not going to do such things. Yeah, that one's good. This one, we'll cut it here, strip it here. You know, with the 100 million ways to accomplish a goal, you post something on the internet, then everybody thinks that, hey, you're doing it wrong because you're not doing it my way. It gets frustrating because I gotta kind of explain the obvious sometimes. And here's my real beef with this type of disagreement is you can disagree with me or my methods all day long, and the comment section down below is for you to register said disagreements, right? And that's why it's there. That's why I don't have comments turned off, because I like to hear the constructive opposing points of view on things. Like I said earlier, I believe it's a very good thing to hear other people's points of view because we all live a different experience. But when you guys are going over to other people's channels to troll over there, now you're involving another party in a situation that they have no idea what's going on, and it's not fair to the other person. You know, it's like having an argument with your spouse and then you turn to your kid and be like, hey, you know, what do you think? Who's right, me or mom? You know, you can't do that. That is not okay stuff to do. Don't act like that. You're supposed to be an adult. Behave like an adult. You know, at the end of the day, the internet's kind of turned into a cesspool of people just meh, 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 and it's not acceptable because you wouldn't act that way in real life, and it's not fair and acceptable to do that kind of stuff on the internet. Because the internet has happened, well, it's turned into a cesspool of this. People running their mouths and saying things completely out of pocket and saying things that are completely inappropriate because they think they're operating with some level of impunity because nobody can punch them in the face. I'm not saying I want to punch people in the face, but back in the day when you said something out of line, you had to back it up. And it seems like that concept no longer exists. You don't have to back up what you say anymore. And again, I'm a grown man, I don't care. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But the issue is we will be leaving the internet to future generations when our generation moves on. That means my kid's gonna have to be on the internet one day, and they're gonna have to deal with your kids' crap. And if you don't know how to behave yourself, I doubt you can teach your children how to behave.
That's all I have to say about that.
Now let's heat shrink these connectors here and put this thing back together. By the way, thank you to the individual who sent me a fresh new pack of the marine grade connectors. This is the first time I've used the connectors out of your pack, and these are my favorite. They're my favorite connectors. Somebody's messing with my boat fever. That's what this is. And I do have boat fever. I've had boat fever since I sold my boat back in, I think, 2013. And I've made smart financial decisions since then, which is why I do not have a boat currently. But I really, really, really wish I had a boat. Every time I go near the water, which isn't that hard to do because I live near the water, but every time I go near the water, my boat fever becomes reactivated quite aggressively. You guys make me want to have a new boat. Well, not a new boat. I'm not buying a new boat. That's insane. Not a smart financial decision. I will take an old boat, oldish. And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but like a year 2000s kind of boat, like a 2005. That would be preferable. So I guess I want a 20-year-old boat. Sure. But then again, I don't want a 20-year-old boat because then you got to do things that you have to do to 20-year-old boats. Which is why I don't have a boat. Because I don't want a 20-year-old boat, and I'm certainly not going to buy a new one. Not a chance. I wish I would have bought a boat during COVID times because they were like stupid cheap for about 15 minutes. You get a $100,000 boat for $30,000. And the banks were just giving money away at the time too. Remember 2.15% mortgage rates? They were just giving away free money. And now we're paying for it. So you guys get me going. Nobody's safe. Trolls aren't safe. California's not safe. The banks aren't safe. IRS definitely isn't safe. I wish I could bang away at politics more directly, but I'll get canceled. I don't want to get canceled. Because then I can't hang out with you guys anymore. Unsubscribe. You have a different opinion than me. No, but for real though, guys, it's all in good fun. I'm just hanging out, entertaining myself, and you guys are hanging out with me. This is one of those stripped out ones. Become tight. Yeah, you're never coming out again. I am missing one screw. Where did it go? Does anybody see it? Not these. Those are my nuts. Ah, there it is. Hiding out where I couldn't see it. It was camouflaged. Seriously? Oh, the rubber seal is sticking out some. You see it? Let's get past that piece of rubber. There we go. Threading in, no problem. Down pressure. Check them all. Oh, that one's loose. That one's not. That one's not. Not loose. And not loose. Beautiful. Okay. Pump is installed. Let's get this this piece of engineering fuel tank back up in the vehicle. Okay, let's get this thing cranked around to initiate our lean. Once we got the shoulder lean, tighten the ratchet strap again. Lean back. Lean back this way. got to connect. There's our fuel pump wire and then the level sender wire. Got to connect those guys. And there's one fuel line I've got to plug in up top still. Let me climb up in there real quick and I'll get that done. Then we'll bolt this thing back in. Okay, so up through behind the drive shaft. On top of the tank here. Where's that other fuel line at? Oh, it's right. There it is right there. You guys see it? Hope so. That's like a evap return line or something. Flashlight down. It's fine though, I'm not gonna go get it. Let's get the little clamp on it. It's a handheld little finger clamp, one of those butterfly clamps. Get that on there. Oh man, I'm stuck. Here we go. That was fun up there. It's hotter in there than it is out here, I'll tell you what. Uh-oh. Flashlight down, I think I killed another one. Nope, she's still good. Whew, okay. So all the lines are on. I've got 2 electrical connections to reconnect. And then we're bolting this unit together. Let's see here, where's those guys at? Hard to reach. This one's for the level sending unit. So I can't get that guy one-handed. Because I know I can't fit 2 hands in there. Not enough wire to connect it until now. There it is lined up. Give it a squeeze. Nope. There we go. Tab is engaged. And then this guy for the pump here. Pump is now reconnected. Cool. Okay. So the front flange with the bolts is over top the bracket. Let's get the rear one fully in position here, and we'll bolt the rear side in first. I'm not going to tighten it. What we're going to do is get the bolts in it and kind of leave them in there loose until the other ones have come through the holes. I still have to move it around a little bit. Pull our fillet neck through the rest of the way. Looks good. And so I looked up and my camera said that the GoPro has turned off because it was too hot. So we missed the part where I got all the bolts in, but I think we're good here. Watch this, it's gonna work. That was awesome. Okay, 13, we got the odd man out over here. That one's in. I got the front ones already. We need to go down below and get the bolts for that brake cable that I disconnected, and then we can let this thing down. So what do you guys think? Should I drain the gas out of it, or just see if it's gonna run on the gas that's in it? What do you think? Think that gas is any good? I don't think it is. I think I should put gas in it. You know why?
It ain't got no gas in it.
All right, you guys win. The comments are overwhelmingly decisive. We're gonna drain this old fuel out of here. It's it can't stay. That stuff's it's not okay. Yeah, it smells like turpentine. Come on, fuel. Let it ride. Or maybe I should just dump it out in the environment. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, that's another accusation. Apparently anytime I'm touching a chemical, I'm accused by Californians of just dumping it out into the yard or the ocean, I guess. Like, there's a special stream that goes straight to the ocean under every automotive shop, and what we do is we take the lid off that special stream, and we just dump all of our chemicals there so it can go straight into the ocean so we can kill our fish population. Like, that's what people think. Yeah, there's a lot more fuel in there than I thought. Didn't feel like it, but yeah, there's a few gallons in it. We're gonna let this drain out for a while. In the meantime, I'm gonna go to the store and get some more fuel, and then when we come back, that will be drained out. A few moments later, I return. The spout has been bolted back on with the 3 screws. Funnel's going in. let's get this thing refueled and then we'll attempt to restart the engine here. I gotta take this little spout thing off of here because they don't like to flow very well. These are one of those new spouts that are environmentally friendly where you gotta kind of push that tab in and then push this black thing forward and it opens the valve inside. That way your fuel can't flow. So you end up like getting fatigue and then you rest yourself on the tank and then you break these off, so you have to buy another one. So we're not going to use that. I'm just going to use a funnel and we're going to pour it right through the jug. There we go. Beginning fueling now. Look at how much faster that flows out of there. It's a lot easier. I'm going to throw 5 gallons in this. That way there's plenty of fuel, because I know there's leftover fuel in the tank. It probably didn't make its way out, and I would like to dilute the turpentine as much as possible. So we're going to give this a fresh 5 gallons of gasoline here. Come on. Gasoline lets me know that I still have COVID nose, because the gas does not smell the way that it used to. Anyway, there's 5 gallons of diesel in the tank. Take our cap, put that back. Not talking about this cap, I was talking about this cap. Because that's effectively what this is just a really long cap that might leak fuel sometimes. Multiple clicks. Okay, good to go. We have fuel. We know we have fire, suck, squeeze, bang, blow, boom. Let's hit the key and fire this unit up here. Let's see if she's gonna start. So what I'll do, since we know those fuel lines are empty, we'll key it on a couple times here. Let the pump prime the lines. And beginning engine starting sequence now. Ha ha ha! Look at that, fired right up. Beautiful. Okay, we're doing some squealing under the hood there. Let's go see what that's about. Probably a belt. Yeah, it's a belt. A couple of them. All of them. Okay, let's go out back. Check for leaks down below. She's running. That's all connected. No leaks up here. No fuel spraying out anywhere. That's good. Nothing dripping on the ground. That's good. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that belt in the back down there slapping, flopping around. That's pretty gnarly. Yeah, all these things need adjusted or replaced, like a lot. Okay. Well, we got it running. For real? That's savage. Well, anyway, so we got her running. That completes the deed for the day. Let's shut this noisemaker off. Power down. So, guys, I do believe at this point I've got nothing more to offer you. The truck is now running. I'm sure it'll drive. I got to get with the guy that owns it and see if we want to do any additional work to it. So far, the task at hand was to get it running, and then we're going to reevaluate the cost of said rehab after the thing is running in a no good condition. I may do like a full-on inspection and do some of this other work to this vehicle, but again, like I said, I got to get back to the guy that owns it and see how much he would like to invest in this vehicle. Yeah, definitely needs some belts. Look at that inside belt. It's like frayed to nothing, and it's missing a couple ribs. I don't even think this car has the right belts on it. None of them seem to fit right. Yeah, see that? How one of them's leaning on the pulley. These belts are either very, very worn or they're just the wrong belts. So yeah, I'd rather put a set of belts on it. I got to charge battery up. A couple other things. Retrieve my can of starting fluid, brake clean over here, Cosby sauce. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to save that one for another time. So let me know if you'd like to see the video on the belt replacement and tightening sequence on this particular Isuzu product. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If in fact you did enjoy this video, you know the drill by now. Go ahead and tap that like button down below. And before I go, I'd like to remind each and every one of you guys to not forget to have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, into Isuzu, into fuel pump, ending of transmission.